Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Apologies, I'm a couple minutes late. All right, are we ready to begin? Is this a closed meeting for the open meeting part, or is it open to everyone?
This portion is locked, sir.
Okay. All right. So, Commissioner Secretary, let me know when you are ready to go, and I will begin.
Sir, we are ready.
Good afternoon. For the record, today it's April 21st, 2021. The time is 2:05 p.m. This is a meeting of the Public Service Commission of the District of Columbia being held via conference call. I'm Willie L. Phillips, Chairman of the Public Service Commission. Also participating via conference call is Commissioner Richard Beverly and our newly appointed Commissioner, Emil Thompson. Welcome to Commissioner Thompson. Pursuant to the Open Meeting Act, the Commission scheduled this meeting to consider formal case matters that require Commission action. The proposed agenda for this meeting was posted on Monday, April 19th, 2021, and amended today, removing item number 2 regarding formal case number 1167. A recording of today's open meeting will be available on the Commission's website after the meeting concludes. Commissioners Beverly and Thompson, are you prepared to vote and adopt the amended agenda?
Yes.
All in favor of adopting the amended agenda, please indicate by stating yes.
Yes.
And I vote yes, the agenda is adopted. Today, there is just one matter before the Commission. That is formal case number 1154 in the matter of Washington Gas Light Company's application for approval of Project Pipes Plan 2. This order grants in part the joint movement request to institute a technical conference and establish a procedural schedule. All in favor of approving the recommended order, please indicate by stating yes.
Yes.
And I vote yes, the order is approved. Announcements. The next regular open meeting will be held on April 28, 2021 at 2 p.m. via conference call. The proposed agenda for the meeting will be posted at least 48 hours before the announced meeting. The Commission will now not adjourn, but we will hear from Pepco on the State of the Company address, their annual State of the Company address. Commissioner Secretary, are we live now?
Yes, sir, I believe we are.
Thank you.
Give me one moment. I just need to confirm with Carmen, sir. Carmen and Bruce, one moment, please. Sir, we are ready to go.
Thank you. I'd like to say good afternoon again. This is a little awkward. We usually have our open meeting and we directly go into the presentation of the state of the company, but we broke it up this time due to technical, not difficulties, but our new reality. So with that, I would like to welcome everybody. We have today with us some executives from Pepco, and I would like to turn it over to, I believe, Ms. Hall, to introduce the folks who will be representing the company.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and Commissioner Beverly and our new Commissioner Thompson. We're so glad to have you. Thank you first to the Commission for allowing us to present our State of the Company address for now the 4th consecutive year. This year, as you mentioned, Mr. Chairman, looks very different from previous years. So we'd like to take this opportunity to give you an update on the work we did in 2020 and some of the things we have planned for the remainder of 2021. Please allow me to introduce my panel, which is the same as last year. Calvin Butler, Exelon Utilities CEO, Dave Velasquez, Pepco Holdings CEO, and Donna Cooper, our president of our Pepco region. And Mr. Butler, I will turn it to you because I believe you are starting first.
Thank you, Nikki. And let me also say good afternoon. And thank you, Commissioner Phillips, Chairman, for inviting us to join you today. I think it's fair to say these days it's not much that can get me to put on a tie and a jacket. But being before this distinguished body was one of those. So I also want to say hello and to Commissioner Beverly. Good to see you again, sir. And welcome and congratulate the newest commissioner, Commissioner Thompson. I look forward to getting to know you and looking forward to working with you. I'm pleased to be with you all today, even virtually, sharing the tremendous benefits that Exelon is bringing for customers and communities within Washington, D.C. Serving the people of the District of Columbia is our privilege and mission. I reflect back on right around this time last year, I believe it was end of January, when I was newly appointed to my role of CEO of Exelon Utilities, and I was giving you all this thoughts and vision and strategy. And to say the least, I didn't expect a pandemic. And this time, about a month and a half later, we were all on shutdown. And we were all trying to figure out this new normal, what we were going to be doing and how we were going to adjust, not only personally and with our families, but with our employees, how we were going to engage them, keep them safe, keep everybody secure, and keep the focus on our business. Well, I'm pleased to tell you that although much changed, a lot has remained very consistent for the Exelon Utilities. That consistency goes to we are committed to powering the health and well-being of the diverse communities that we serve. And if I can ask you to please move to slide 4. A few of the achievements that I am most proud of reflect this deep commitment to our communities and demonstrate our ability to meet these new challenges. The past year, as we've already alluded to, has been unlike any other for those of us at Exelon, but we have emerged stronger as a result. We have been challenged, and so many were, by the COVID-19 pandemic and the tragic events that related to racial discrimination and specifically violence targeting African Americans, and most recently what we've seen targeting Asian Americans. We continued, however, to live our values related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. As a matter of fact, we are strengthening our commitment to DEI every day. I'm a true believer, and we try to show it in what we do, that diversity drives our success. And that includes ensuring we have diverse supplier spend. Exelon and its operating companies seek out supporting business partners who reflect our diversity goals. In short, we spent more than $2 billion with diverse suppliers in 2020. That's $2 billion with minority, women, veteran-owned, and disabled-owned businesses in 2020. We also are furthering committing to our commitment around combating climate change, underscoring it with our $20 million climate change investment initiative, which supports startups that develop technology to address that all-important issue of climate change. In addition, across our operating utilities, we have invested $22 billion in the past 4 years to modernize the grid and improve customer service. And that resulted, and I'm proud to say this, in the best customer satisfaction scores and ratings in 2020. On a personal community note, Exelon Utilities made $27.6 million in charitable donations to nonprofits, and our employee giving campaign generated more than $12 million. In addition to their money, our employees gave their time, volunteering more than 133,000 hours of service at nonprofits in 2020, even as the pandemic required shifting to virtual community service. In short, commissioners, Exelon is committed to partnering with the communities in which we operate to facilitate economic growth through financial contributions, volunteer work, and partnerships on large-scale projects. I'd now like to turn your attention to our strategy and what that means and what it is on slide 5. Exelon Utilities, our strategy also remains very consistent. Bottom line is that we are focused on our customers investing in and modernizing our energy infrastructure for safe, reliable, and resilient service, clean and affordable energy choices, and more equitable communities. We continue to work with our community partners to take on shared challenges and opportunities related to climate change, economic development, to strengthen and improve their quality of life. We harness the strength and capabilities of our 6 utilities serving 10 million customers across Delaware, Illinois, Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and of course, the District of Columbia, delivering those clean energy services and technology solutions that, again, which is all important, enhancing our customers' lives and helping our communities thrive. Through this flexible strategy designed to meet the needs of our customers, we are first and foremost modernizing our grid for reliability and resiliency for customers, investing to make that infrastructure not only stronger, but smarter and more secure. We are hardening our system against cybersecurity attacks, extreme weather events, and increasingly the sustained impacts of global climate change. We continue to work to deliver exceptional customer experiences, empowering them with affordable services and helping our customers take charge of their energy needs. That means harnessing the power of the data to better understand and to help them meet their needs, providing them with the tools, innovative programs, and education so they could take control, our customers can take control of their energy usage, save money, and reduce their environmental footprint. We are advancing clean and affordable energy choices by providing clean energy solutions and technologies. By building a smarter, cleaner energy grid, we can connect more customers with options like solar and battery storage and advance clean electric transportation, charging options, and create sustainable buildings. We are empowering our customers once again to have that control at their fingertips. What do I mean by supporting communities, powering economic health and well-being of the diverse communities we serve? We are partnering and working very hard to reduce and eliminate barriers to economic empowerment through workforce development and by fostering lifelong energy careers. And we are advocating for equitable access to clean energy opportunities, ensuring that all customers benefits, not just the wealthy, but ensuring that the field is level and all customers have access to those electric energy needs. Let me give you a few examples of how we're bringing our Exelon utility strategy to life. First and foremost, Exelon announced our commitment to fighting climate change through fleet electrification. We stated by 2025, we will electrify 30% of our vehicle fleet, and by 2030, we will increase that to 50%. I dare say we are leading the pack in the energy industry from utility companies in that goal. This transition will be achieved through a combination of fully electric vehicles, vehicles with plug-in idle mitigation units, and plug-in hybrids. Converting our fleet will be done in a financially responsible way, and we will maintain the operational integrity of our vehicles to ensure we have the ability to continue to keeping the lights on and the gas flowing. We've also made excellent progress in strengthening the local energy grid against the impacts of climate change. In the district, as across all of our service areas, we are seeing powerful and damaging storms becoming more frequent. These storms and hurricanes are bringing stronger and more damaging winds and extreme flooding, and are having lasting impacts, particularly across the barrier islands. Through targeted reliability projects and the partnership with commissions like yourself, we are installing state-of-the-art equipment and modern substations to handle more extreme weather. And because of these efforts, our customers continue to experience more safer and more reliable energy services. These projects are critical to helping our communities become more resilient and continue to thrive in this changing environment. We are committed to helping the district and the commission accomplish its objectives. District of Columbia customers benefit from the collective strength and capabilities of the 15,000 Exelon utilities employees across our 6 utilities. If you don't mind, I'd like to take a minute to talk about what that combined strength of Exelon utilities brings for Washington, D.C. We work together across our fleet of utilities through our peer groups to identify best practices and align on common standards. Our comprehensive size and scope enable our operating companies to access unparalleled benefits made possible through our collaborative framework. Exelon Utilities, in partnership with our operating companies, has consistently demonstrated the capability to plan, finance, and execute on utility capital projects while minimizing customer rate impacts. Our utilities enjoy economies of scale in the procurement of goods and services. This was best demonstrated during the pandemic of the past year, when we were seeking to acquire PPE, personal protective equipment for all of our employees, keeping them safe, understanding how we access customers' homes. How do we provide mutual assistance? How do we sit back and restore customers during storm? All of that came together, as I like to say, demonstrating the power of the platform in 2020. It's the same type of benefit we see on a regular basis through mutual assistance. But when it comes to cybersecurity, the safety and reliability of our energy grid are constant priorities. I'm here to assure you that cybersecurity and protecting our grid is first and foremost on our minds. We recognize that we have a significant responsibility, and we do not take cybersecurity or the security of our systems lightly. Our strategy also through workforce development, well, first off, let me back up. I know Donna Cooper will talk to you in a bit more about workforce development focus in the district. So I just want to simply touch on some overarching efforts through Exelon's workforce development programs. Through our workforce development efforts, Exelon is preparing work-ready adults and youth for family-supporting careers. Our strategy is simple: to enhance the employability of underserved populations in communities where Exelon operates by doing 4 things. 1, igniting STEM in young minds. 2, eliminating barriers to economic empowerment. 3, equipping work-ready adults and youth for family-supporting careers. And 4, engineering new ideas in workforce development. In the last 18 months, our workforce development programs have resulted in more than 700 new hires, both at Exelon and companies we partner with. Our local utility program is focused on opportunities for unemployed and underemployed adults from underserved communities in the most poverty-stricken sections of our cities. Exelon has more than 45 different workforce development programs across our 6 utilities and the generation business. And I know they won't take a bow, but let me just give credit to Pepco Holdings for all of their hard work and leaning into workforce development, because they are leading by example, and across the platform, we're taking what they have learned and putting it into practice. This year, of course, on slide 7, brought the announcement that Exelon is separating our utility business and the power generation and wholesale business into 2 independent, publicly traded companies. That will give Exelon Utilities the resources necessary to continue to serve our customers and sustain long-term investment in operational excellence. Our utilities, including Pepco, will be best positioned to continue delivering smart, clean, reliable, and resilient energy to our customers while continuing to foster economic opportunity and equity in their communities. Until the separation is complete, let me assure you, which is expected to happen, by the way, in Q1 of 2022, until it is complete, we will continue operating as usual. Our utilities will continue Exelon's commitment to delivering clean and reliable energy, powering the economy, and supporting good jobs and serving the community. Now on to social responsibility. While the structure of our business may be changing, our commitments remain the same around safety, reliability, affordability, and community responsibility. We will continue to honor all prior utility merger commitments, including staffing, office locations, long-term philanthropic commitments, and multi-year charitable and community investments. We also do not anticipate any change to existing utility partnerships and vendors, suppliers, and contractors. We have a deeply rooted culture of giving back to our communities and promoting economic opportunity, including our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. As indicated earlier, our utilities gave $27.6 million to local nonprofits in 2020. I anticipate and we expect to continue that level of support for our communities under the new company structure. In addition, we will continue to support diverse businesses. One, not because it's a good thing to do, but because it's critical to do. I tell everyone who listens, the reason we have been successful is because of our approach to engaging small businesses, diverse businesses, and the communities in how we go about conducting our business. One thing we do know is that the separation will not impact 90% of the workforce. The frontline work we do every day in our operating companies will not change. And we will continue focusing on board diversity and maintaining critical skill sets, experiences, and a broad set of perspectives. I'm pleased to say Pepco Holdings has one of the strongest and most diverse boards across all of Exelon. With that, I just want to take a moment to say thank you for allowing us to serve the people of the District of Columbia in such a comprehensive and diverse manner. I'll now hand it over to Pepco Holdings CEO, Dave Velasquez. Dave?
Calvin, thank you. And good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, Commissioner Beverly. Good afternoon and welcome to Commissioner Thompson as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to have this opportunity this afternoon to speak to you and provide you an update on Pepco Holdings and also on Pepco. I wanted to spend a few minutes, if you flip to the next slide, slide 10, I wanted to just spend a few minutes providing an overview of Pepco Holdings, and then I'm going to turn it over to Donna Cooper to dive into more detail and provide some more details about Pepco. As you can see on this slide, we have over 4,300 employees across Pepco Holdings and our 3 utilities that provide exceptional service to our 1.94 million electric customers. And that exceptional service is reflected in the 90% customer satisfaction rating you see reflected on this slide as well. And we'll talk about some of the reasons and some of the things that drive that high customer satisfaction as well. I'm going to talk more about it, and Calvin had talked about our commitment to our communities and commitment to make sure that we reflect the communities that we serve. And that reflects both our internal commitment and also the commitment of who we do business with. And you can see that reflected on the slides here, where 65% of our recent promotions were women and people of color. That reflects overall 54% of the workforce at Pepco Holdings is diverse. In addition, across Pepco Holdings, of our spend in 2020, 31% was with diverse suppliers. That reflects $457 million worth of economic activity and spend with diverse suppliers. So again, reflects our commitment to the communities that we serve as well. If you flip to the next slide, these next 2 slides are slides that I've used both internally and externally, the exact same version. And they really are designed to capture our vision for our journey to long-term success for our customers and communities. As you can see on the slide, and I won't go through all the details here, but want to highlight some of it. It starts on the left with the overall purpose statement, Exelon's purpose, powering a cleaner and brighter future for our customers and communities. And that was deliberately written, I'll say, large. So it's not just about customers, but it's also about the communities that we are privileged to serve and the communities that we are part of and have been part of for so long. Actually, Pepco is celebrating 125 years in business in the district this year. So we've been here for a long time and intend to be here for a long time as an integral part of the community. Then on the right-hand side reflects some of the key, I'll say, attributes that we believe are essential This is our commitment to ourselves, our commitment to the communities we serve, of how we're going to operate and how we're going to help achieve that purpose. And it starts with the very first one there, which is reliable and reliability. I think, as everyone recognizes, at very core of our mission is to make sure we are providing reliable service to all our customers. And you'll hear more about that from Donna. But it's also important, if you move over to the right, and we're very mindful of the fact that we need to do this in a way that is affordable for our customers. And I think that's especially true with the impacts of COVID still being felt, not just across our residential customers, but also across our commercial customers as well. It is something we are very mindful of when we create our longer term plans, along with creating the plans for what we need to do in order to provide reliable, sustainable, clean service to our customers. We also look at the affordability of that and are very mindful of the impacts of what we spend on our customers' rates. We work very hard to make sure that we're keeping our costs below the rate of inflation and making sure we keep our rate increases as small as we can for our customers. If we move down the page, also very mindful that we know that we need to help bring the benefits of all that we do to all of our customers and communities. And you see that reflected in the word equitable. We need to provide the benefits of the clean energy economy to all, which means that as we think about choices that our customers are making, whether it's solar or electric vehicles, we play an important role in making sure that just doesn't happen in the most affluent communities that we serve in the district, but that it happens across the entire district in all the wards, all the different communities across the district as well. And part of being equitable is also reflected on the bottom, which also means being inclusive. And some of that, which Calvin has spoken about already, is strengthening and expanding the pipeline of talent from our communities that we're privileged to serve. And again, Donna will talk more about our efforts, specific efforts in the district around that as well. When you think about providing reliable, affordable, equitable, and inclusive service to our communities, that leads right into the whole idea of being innovative. These are big challenges that we face. These are big challenges we need to be able to meet. And to do that, we need big ideas. We need innovative ideas. And it's very important that we can't do this alone. So as you see, when we talk about innovation in the very last sentence there, it's not just about what we do internally, but it's also how we can partner with others to drive actions, advance grid modernization, find climate solutions, build a resilient grid as well. And of course, we need to be proactive. The point of what we do is not to wait till a problem occurs, but to be able to meet that head on. The second page, if you flip to the next slide, the second page of what we go over with customers and going through with you brings us down to another level. So we reflect on the left our vision. And that really is our vision for the future for our customers and our communities. And it's been purposefully designed as we listen and hear what is important from a policy standpoint and initiative standpoint in each of our jurisdictions, especially in the district. So clean, sustainable, resilient energy future, thriving communities, affordable energy solutions, world-class customer experience, creating economic opportunity, making sure it's done equitably, driving continued growth in our communities. We see these all as being very critical to, again, our purpose statement, powering a brighter and cleaner future for our customers and communities. And then on the right-hand side of the page, this seeks to answer the question is, so what do we as PHI and what do we as PHI employees need to do in 2021 to help achieve that? And there's 5 things that we're focused on, and I won't go through them. You can read them, but we're going to touch on them as we continue to go through the presentation as well. So if you flip to the next slide, before I turn it over to Donna, I just wanted to take a few minutes to focus on what we're doing to exceed our customers' expectations. And this shows the significant improvements we've made over the last 5 years since we merged with Exelon. There's a table on the right-hand side that shows our performance in 2015 around some of the key metrics that customers look at that show the performance before the customer, and then our performance through the year 2020, or in the year 2020 as well. And as you can see, we've been able to move our performance into the top quartile of the top 25% of companies across the country, and in some cases even higher than that. So on the left, some of the commentary I think is worth noting. We continue to improve our reliability. We achieved best on record performance across Pepco Holding and outage frequency in 2020. So it's a journey that we're on. We realize, again, it's not a journey that we've ended, but it's one we need to continue to work on. As we think about customers relying more and more on our electric service, whether it's through electric vehicles, solar, they have battery storage and all that, the reliability of our service and the standards that our customers expect us to achieve are going to continue to go up and up. And we also have, working against that, the impacts of climate change, where we see more storms, we see harder storms, we see stronger storms coming across our territory more frequently. So making a system that is both reliable and resilient is one of our key priorities. And again, we continue to drive better and better performance year over year. Also, the way we are able to handle questions and issues and problems that our customers have and be able to proactively work out solutions before the customers have issues is, you can see that in the J.D. Power ranked Pepco business customer satisfaction the highest in the East mid-size region. And again, we're not satisfied with that. We're also not satisfied with our 90% customer satisfaction rating. We continue to realize our customers' expectations are going up. I think we continue to meet them. And then again, you can see in delivering top decile or top 10% performance in call abandonment rate, which reflects our responsiveness and our ability to resolve issues. And then if you flip to the next slide, I think just wanted to highlight, especially with COVID right now, some of the things we're doing, because we are very cognizant of the issues and struggles that our customers face. And I want you to know that we have taken extensive steps to communicate with customers to make sure that we're able to show them where there's assistance, which is available, to work with them to establish payment arrangements. We have been more flexible than we have ever been in payment arrangements and helping our customers who are in arrears to find assistance. We continue that education effort. There is money available, and we want to make sure that our customers know that it's there and are able to take advantage of it. We do that through direct outreach to customers, through mail or emails. We're doing it through traditional media, through our website, through social media. You see a bit of a picture of a social media post there on the right-hand side. So we want to be able to reach our customers wherever they are. We reach through local community groups, through churches. We're out in the community as well at different events when they're able to be held virtually or in person to help customers see that. And again, this is not something we just do in the district, but we do it across all of our jurisdictions as well. We also are very active in supporting our jurisdictions' renewable energy and climate change policies. We've launched a number of initiatives at the company. We've announced our Pepco DC climate commitment for us as a company, what we're doing to reduce our emissions dramatically, our greenhouse gas emissions dramatically, and also to help our customers and communities. And I think Don is going to touch on it, but I think it was just yesterday we announced the second year of our Reduce Energy Use DC program. And then finally, at times the questions come up, what are we doing to help keep our employees safe? What are we doing there? And I want to point out that our performance from a safety standpoint for our employees is currently first quartile, which has been an increase from third quartile in 2016. That shows a 51% reduction in recordable injuries and a 57% reduction in days away due to injury. And again, we continue to work on that. Like all of the things that I've talked about, we're not satisfied with our performance and continue to strive to do better each year. With that, again, thank you for your time this afternoon. And let me turn it over to Donna Cooper to talk more directly about Pepco and what we're doing there.
Thank you very much, Dave. I wanted to thank Chairman Phillips, also Commissioner Beverly, and Commissioner Thompson. Congratulations on your recent confirmation. So thank you for the opportunity to provide an update on the state of the company for 2020. Can we please move to the next slide? I wanted to underscore a comment that Dave made. This year marks a major milestone for our company. We have been operating and serving the District of Columbia for 125 years, and we look at this as a privilege. We must always strive to exceed our customer expectations and deliver service in a manner that we're ensuring is advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that relates to our company as well as the communities that we're privileged to serve. In the District of Columbia, We serve 365,000 customers, and we're committed to delivering the highest quality of service. We must have a diverse, inclusive, and dynamic workforce, and we must also develop a pipeline intentionally to preserve and advance the same. As we all know, this lends itself to better decision-making through diversity of thoughts, ideas, as well as perspectives. 69% of our workforce is diverse, reflecting the diversity of the communities that we serve. In 2020, Pepco's spend with diverse suppliers was 35%, representing an actual spend of $249 million. We interconnected 15,417 kilowatts of community renewable energy facilities. And I wanted to pause there. There was an earlier statement regarding equity and inclusion around climate change. Community renewable energy facilities are really a vehicle to that. We reached an all-time high of 96% regarding our customer satisfaction specific to system reliability. While I have highlighted these outcomes, I want to use the term that we're still on a journey, and there's a lot more that we have to do, and we're committed to doing so. Can we go to the next slide? As a company, we have established priorities. However, we are acutely aware that our priorities must align with the priorities of the jurisdictions in which we are both a part of and we are privileged to serve. Our customers, the District of Columbia government, our communities, they all expect clean, affordable, resilient service, and a very positive energy future. We have an obligation in ensuring that we deliver the service in a manner that is equitable as well as inclusive. Going back a few years, in 2018, the Council of the District of Columbia unanimously passed landmark legislation advancing a cleaner energy future for the District of Columbia, calling for 100% renewables by 2032, carbon neutrality by 2050. Dave mentioned earlier Pepco's climate commitment, and in 2020, we announced this. We have a goal of a 70% reduction in our greenhouse gas footprint by 2025. We recognize that we all have to do our part in meeting these critical goals, and we're also tracking our outcomes. I wanted to thank the Commission as well for your approval of the Transportation Electrification Program. When we talk about greenhouse gas emissions, we know that transportation is the second largest contributor behind the built environment to contributing to the climate issues that we're contending with. So thank you for allowing us to advance this program and contribute to this particular issue. In 2020, we also launched the Reduce Energy Use DC, Energy Efficiency Initiative. And this was inclusive of a very broad coalition. But I wanted to highlight our founding partners, the District Department of Energy and the Environment, as well as the DC Sustainable Energy Utility. On yesterday, I'm proud to note that we relaunched this initiative for a second year. It's really about engaging our customers and the community on ways in which we can reduce our energy usage, our carbon footprint, as well as reduce our energy cost. We have achieved top decile reliability performance in 2020, but we recognize that we have to continue to make the investments to ensure that our system continues to operate at the level that is expected. When we speak of a clean, reliable, and resilient system, we must ensure that this future is inclusive as well as affordable. We must make investments to modernize our system, enable solar interconnections, as well as new technology. Earlier, when I highlighted our system performance, I wanted to note that we have not lost sight of focusing as well on our neighborhoods. I know that we have presented to the Commission recently. I know that's a focal point of Commissioner Beverly, as well as the Chairman of the Commission and our new Commissioner. I wanted to talk about affordability. When we're talking about investments, when we're talking about a clean energy future, We must ensure that we have programs that we're offering our customers to ensure affordability. Some of those programs, the Residential Aid Discount Program, the Arrearage Management Program, our Good Neighbor Energy Fund Program, which is new, our Senior and Disabled Rate Credit Program, and we have several programs that we know are pending before the Commission. We're thinking very intentionally about how we can provide the highest level of support to our customers. Next slide, please. It is without saying that 2020 could not have been a more unprecedented year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It has touched each of us directly and indirectly, recognizing some more than others. In 2020, we continued our long-standing partnerships to maximize our support for communities. We made $2 million in contributions to our local communities. Exelon supplemented that by providing an additional $1.5 million. We continue to support our partnership through nonprofits with our employees, 41 serving in leadership roles on boards. And last but not least, our employees. In 2020, volunteerism hours was at a level of 5,337. And I just wanted to highlight, this is really reflective of our employees who are authentically committed to making our communities the best that they can be. During 2020, we took a step back as well as a result of the pandemic to evaluate the needs within our community and determine how we can make a greater difference. We advanced support for food insecurity. We delivered meals to our healthcare workers. We provided grants to small businesses, and we stood up a scholars program at the University of the District of Columbia's Community College. These are just some of the examples of what we were doing to try to support communities during an unprecedented time. Next slide, please. At this time, I would like to address the importance of creating a more resilient, reliable, modern, and cleaner grid, with an emphasis on local and diverse contract partners, which has been referenced by Calvin Butler as well as Dave Velasquez. I wanted to highlight two of our major infrastructure projects that will enable this cleaner, stronger future. The DC Power Line Undergrounding Initiative, and I start with that one because that is a unique partnership with the District of Columbia government that is focused on grid resiliency with reliability as well as elements of modernization. Also, the Capital Grid Project. Through the Capital Grid Project, we have awarded $300 million in contracts to 5 area construction firms. 100% of the underground construction work will be performed by certified business enterprises, or firms that are in the final stages of securing this designation. Turning now to DC Plug. We have awarded, combined the District of Columbia as well as Pepco, $24 million in contracts to area construction firms. We all know that there is a goal of 100% for those construction contracts to be awarded to CBEs or certified joint ventures where they're qualified to execute the work. I'm pleased to note that to date, 94% of the contracts have gone to our CBEs. Next slide, please. While our performance in 2020 has been highlighted as being the best on record, I would like to turn our attention to our continued focus on neighborhood reliability. This table reflects customers that are experiencing multiple interruptions from 2012 through 2020, focusing on customers experiencing outages ranging from 3 to 10 in a single year. If you look at this table reflects our significant progress. I do know that we have provided a recent update to the Commission, but wanting to highlight that this is reflecting continuous improvement. And this is a result of our priority feeder program, along with our underground cable replacement program. Of the neighborhoods identified by the commission as having CME 3 pockets, all but 5 have been reduced to near zero. But I wanted to note, we have work scheduled for these communities, focusing on Brookland, Chevy Chase, Congress Heights, Washington Highlands, and noting that much of this work will begin construction within the next month. Next slide, please. As we have consistently indicated, we are committed to a diverse, equitable, and inclusive culture. In 2020, 75% of Pepco's new hires in the District of Columbia were diverse, and 76% of our promotions reflected the diversity of our communities. We also have active employee resource groups. We have 10, and these are led by our employees. We remain committed to helping local and diverse businesses grow and thrive. I wanted to highlight and recognize Chairman Phillips and your leadership, as well as the commission, around the Advisory Council on Supplier and Workforce Diversity. We were very pleased to participate with Dave Velasquez co-chairing, and we're very pleased that we recently reconstituted a new memorandum of understanding. We're also working with the Exelon Diverse Business Empowerment Team on creating a capacity building program that is focused on Black-owned and minority businesses in partnership with the Capital Region Minority Supplier Development Council, just underscoring that our work continues in this area. And capacity building is critical to making that difference. Many of you may have heard, but I wanted to share that we entered into a partnership with the Washington Interfaith Network to look at advancing economic as well as social vibrancy, sustainability, and growth within the communities that we do serve. Earlier, STEM education was mentioned. We have a lot of focus and attention to ensure that we're exposing individuals within the District of Columbia, our youth and our young adults, to career opportunities with our industry. In fact, today we just closed out our Guiding Light Leadership Program, which focuses on graduating seniors and exposing them to our industry. Next slide, please. This is one area, and Calvin Butler mentioned it earlier, workforce development. And we like to really focus on it as career development. I wanted to highlight a major and a significant program in the District of Columbia, and that is our utility training program that is a part of the DC Infrastructure Academy. We are truly proud to be a partner with Mayor Muriel Bowser and her team through the Department of Employment Services on the Academy. We have had 68 graduates since inception, and I want to underscore with this program, the concept of training versus the concept of training and actual placement and employment. Every single graduate is guaranteed a career with our company when they complete this program or with our contract partners. We have committed to increasing the number of students on an annual basis, and we're targeting 100+ students for 2021. Next slide, please. In closing, I simply want to reiterate Pepco's commitment to enabling a clean energy future for our customers and the communities that we are privileged to serve, advancing programs and initiatives to combat climate change, providing offerings to our customers, and partnering to drive a cleaner community for all. To achieve this, affordability, diversity, equity, and inclusion have to be central. We all must understand that we cannot stay within silos, but we have to leverage the resources that we have to meaningfully drive economic vibrancy, sustainability, and growth in the communities in an equitable and inclusive manner. Thank you for the opportunity to provide these updates, and we're available to take any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank Ms. Cooper, Mr. Velasquez, and Mr. Butler for their thoughtful comments today. After 4 years, I believe you successfully anticipate many of the questions that I have. So I won't pepper you with questions now, but I will just make a couple comments. First of all, I am extremely happy to see that our goal, the goal that I shared with the council for this year, which is sustainability, reliability, and affordability, are echoed throughout the presentation that you made today. It is not lost on me that there are many people who are hurting throughout the city and throughout this country. And added on top of that, if you look at some of the recent events that have happened in Texas with extreme weather, California with wildfires, it seems to everything that you can imagine is happening at the same time. And so it's helpful when you hear the focus that you presented today. I also want to comment on what Mr. Butler said and just the acknowledgement from the executive level at our incumbent utility about some of the violence that has been perpetrated on some of the communities that we've served, and acknowledging the protest, I believe legitimate protests that have been a response to that. I believe that is important and it should be recognized. The council, the mayor, and indeed the Public Service Commission believes that diversity, equity, and inclusion, that they are top priority. And so I also appreciate Pepco stepping up, David in particular, to work on our advisory council for supplier and workforce diversity. This continues to be a top priority. The MOUs are just a first step. We will continue to push this issue. So with that, I would like to turn the floor over to my colleagues, Commissioner Beverly and Commissioner Thompson, if they have any questions or comments.
Thank you for your presentation. I don't have a question, but I do have a comment. And I just wanted to reiterate what I think is the great job you're doing on neighborhood reliability. This is something that I brought up in your State of the Company presentation a few years ago, and you've been making, I think, not only great improvements in what you do, but great improvements in the presentation. So when you meet with me privately, I've been able to get more detail than you gave today. But I just want to say that this is a really good job. What I didn't realize when I met with you privately, because I ran off your sheet in black and white, I didn't realize you took me up on my suggestion that you color coded. So where you have your color coding in here and you show where you started with red and yellow areas that needed improvement, you took the 13 worst performing neighborhoods, and you've really shown a transition from a red yellow state, that is those areas in need of serious attention and those that might not be so serious. You took them all to green. Now, they're not all the same, but they all wound up in a highly improved state. And that's something that I think we wouldn't have experienced if you hadn't focused on it as you did. So I just wanted to highlight, great job. This is something that particularly interests me, and I think you've done a fantastic job in making this, bringing it to reality. So.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Beverly.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Thompson. We cannot hear you, Commissioner Thompson. You may either be on mute or your microphone may be down. We can barely hear you.
I can't hear. I can't hear.
Would you like to try without the headphones, or that might help? Unplug them. All right, we're having technical difficulties, which, as we said in the opening, that is not uncommon these days, but we will come back to you, Mr. Thompson. I just want to make one more closing comment before we go. I just want to remind everyone that tomorrow is Earth Day. And so, consistent with all of our messaging, if you at your home, if you want to plant a tree, at your business or at your organization, please, as you always do, please call 811 before you dig. We know that it can save lives. And we also ask you to visit the Public Service Commission's website to learn about all of the initiatives that we have that encourage clean energy in the District of Columbia. Mr. Thompson, I want to give you one more opportunity before we go. I apologize. Thank you so much. Well, I know whatever it was you were about to say, I wanted to hear it, and I know that the company wanted to hear it. And so we'll make sure that we're circled back and have that information provided. We are at the 3 o'clock hour right now. I don't have anything else, so I will say this meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you.
Safe. Be safe.